What's up, everyone?
Everybody, welcome. Oh, you're doing it this week?
I'm here. I'm here.
Sorry. Go ahead, Marco. You take it this week.
Thank you very much, Chris. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing us line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 90, being recorded on November 24, 2020. And I am your host, Darth Moocher, and I'm joined here with Chris, who interrupted me earlier, but he's here.
Hey, guys. That's me.
Scott Solo's here with us.
What's up, nerds?
We got Bootleg Joe.
Salutations.
And Ernie the Fallen Fett.
Hey, guys, what's up? I don't know where you're at, Marco, because
I know it's...
when I saw you on screen, I don't know what everybody else's screen is, but on YouTube, so I got Scott, Chris, Joey, me.
Oh.
Marco is just over your right shoulder.
On yours?
No, on you. He's just over your right shoulder. Yeah. So just look up at him and look up at him and say hi.
Yeah. There you go. I'm right there. Exactly.
There you go.
Yes. It's different on everybody's screen for some reason, but on mine, everybody is nice and viewed in here. I'm glad to see your guys' faces here. Yes, guys, I have and gotten over the COVID, and Chris and Scott took over the show last week with the hot topic.
Felt like a year ago.
Exactly. To bring you guys the Mandalorian, but I am back. Thank you everybody for the warm wishes, the well wishes. Thank you guys, the Sarlacc crew, everybody who's messaged me privately. I appreciate it a lot because that was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through in my life. And if I pause a little bit or get a little bit sidetracked, it's because I'm still recovering of this thing and I still get a little winded as I talk. So,
can you give me some sanitizer?
Yeah. So, yeah. Here you go, Ernie.
I don't get it.
Ernie, right there. Thank you. There you go. Anybody else? Anybody else need any? No, we're good.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Cool.
Thanks.
Everybody in the chat room, thank you for joining us. We've got people waiting and talking about Mandalorian because this little show has become something of huge substance in our lives every single Friday.
Huge.
What are you talking about? It's all filler, right?
Yeah, the filler episodes that we got,
thing.
especially the last filler episode we just got, is unbelievably filled with substance.
The last filler episode made the other 11 episodes into filler.
Yeah.
The last 10 minutes of the last episode.
I want to get everybody's reaction in the chat room and stuff, and I want to get your guys' reaction here before we start breaking down the episode and getting into the Mando talk, right? I'm still, every single Friday I get blown away. Just blown away. And as we get into it, you'll notice on this episode, it was 20 seconds of substance that blew me away. And I can't give these guys credit enough for the ballsiness of what they're doing here and the full circles that they're bringing us from the Mandalorian to sequel trilogy stuff.
They're going deep Legends type stuff, right? They're bringing in hardcore Legends,
yes, and
then combining it and looks like connecting it to the recent sequels,
right?
I mean, that's unreal. You just took a side story,
right?
It was supposed to be the side story of the Mandalorian, this little wolf and cub deal, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden, you just put it smack dab in the middle of mainstream Star Wars lore. It's like you're going to be intertwined with all these people. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's neat, and it's just as equally exciting to see where they're going to go with this because again, it's not these aren't fleeting mentions. These aren't like Easter eggs anymore. These are like plot points that the Mandalorian is directly involved in, and so like you said,
we know Moff Gideon. He's not going anywhere.
No,
and I mean this is his plot. I mean, he's central to this plot,
right?
This cloning plot. So I mean,
and he's said Giancarlo Esposito has said he's coming back next season. I mean, it's like he's kind of already put that out the bag. It's like. He's not going anywhere. Yeah,
when we got word that this season's supposed to set up the next two seasons as far as like the main epicness, main storyline going forward and stuff, I didn't really. I think we talked about a lot of things here, but it's refreshing and surprising to be wrong, but at the same time, just be so excited to talk about being wrong. Okay, when I say being wrong, it's not a bad thing. It's that we theory craft things and we get all the things in our head. It's like where's this going to go and what the plot line is going to go. We don't know that they're actually going to touch on episodic 1 through 9 stuff. We didn't know this stuff. We didn't know that I thought this was all going to be like brand new kind of stuff. And I'm welcoming it with open arms. Yeah.
Well, it's fun that they can, and it's fun that they are, and it was unexpected because I didn't think they were going to. But then he did say you would see the beginnings of the First Order, didn't they?
Yes.
So I guess we shouldn't be that shocked.
Right. But
everybody's pretty much universally been begging for the fill-in time between episode 6 and episode 7.
100%.
And yeah, we're not that far along in the timeline, and we're already getting huge chunks of information.
Yeah. And
in little 20-second snippets.
Yeah, exactly. And what I do want to iterate is this does not seem like retconning anything. It seems like it's enhancing it, and they're doubling down on what we've got on the sequel trilogy so far. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. So far, they're doubling down on it. With again, when we get into it and everything, they're not trying to fix things, which makes me happy because I don't want them to fix anything. I really don't. They're
just making it all connect.
Yeah, double down on it.
Yeah, awesome.
Love what you put out there. I don't care what people think about it. You know what I mean? Like, just enhance it, right?
Yep.
And
I'm ready to talk about that plot point right now. So we got.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I know Chris has got notes, so I'm actually gonna hand this over to Chris, and Chris is gonna talk us through this episode, and then we'll salt and pepper this thing going forward because Chris took the time and actually brought some notes to the table here. So
only because I watched it a whole bunch of times, so I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything.
Absolutely.
This is, one of those episodes where it's gotten a lot of attention, right? You and I were talking about Carl Weathers, and he's all over Twitter, and everybody's, it was a fun episode. It was far from flawless.
Right.
Far from it.
Right.
And I'm not even talking about the Gene dude. The Gene dude, I never even noticed.
Oh, yeah, the guy behind the wall. I watched it 4 or 5 times, about 5 times. I have still not noticed the dude behind the wall.
Me, and I've looked every time.
It's so fleeting. It's so fleeting, and so you blink and you half a blink and you miss it. My wife calls him a casual Friday trooper.
That's the best. That's the best. And the best meme I saw was the figure people already started making of the dude with the half wall and the half guy.
Ernie pre-ordered him.
Oh, heck yeah.
I would too, man.
I had to.
That's hilarious. Ready. Absolutely hilarious.
Open that. All right, so we're going to start off with a shot with the child, with Din and the child coming in, right? Which is an awesome scene because he's got him in there doing work for him now. So again, we've talked about time passing.
Right.
So now he's in here explaining to the
my
child, question again.
Right?
That he's in there, the red wire, the blue wire, put it in here. What a great little scene.
That was great.
Showing how they're to get together now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the best part was we kind of knew he was going to touch him. Right, we knew that was going to happen. So
Yeah. We knew
it was the reaction.
Right.
I love Din, his sigh.
Yeah.
All right, like that was it. Like just damn.
Yeah.
You touched him. It's just he's and the whole scene with him in there when they're drinking the tea together or having their soup, and he pulls off his mask and the child looks at him. Their relationship is really getting to that next level, and I just love watching that.
I do too.
So
absolutely, yes. I do too. That interaction.
That whole scene is.
Yeah, go ahead.
If somebody asks you what it's like to be a parent, that explains it perfectly. That's all I.
The patience that Din must have for this kid right now, right?
The red one. The red one.
And don't touch it. I told you 2 things you couldn't do.
Yeah. And what is the first thing? It was great.
I'm mad, but let me make sure you're all right.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like that doesn't sum up my whole life.
Right.
Right. He didn't even seem mad though. He just seemed exasperated.
Yeah.
He was like,
it is something you don't get mad at because you're asking them to do something, and no matter how many times you say it, they don't get it.
Yeah.
At all. And to see him then electrocute himself, and then to move to the next scene of eating, and he's looking up to him.
Right.
That was so cool.
It was fantastic.
And I love that he sees his mouth there because after the Mandalorians he saw last episode, right? He saw, And there we go. Now he's thinking about it. I'm sure they've eaten together before in this time, right?
Right.
But now he's like thinking, he's all, oh yeah, you do have skin under there.
Right.
There's something there. He's ready to see his face. He'll see his face this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll happen.
Just small tidbit of that too is I love hearing the release of the bucket.
Right. Like the little suctions.
Yeah. Each time it was there. It was
at first, I thought he was doing the Mr. Coffee thing. Like,
awesome.
You know, like just.
Yeah. That's true. But just to see that, man, that was little things like that is what made this whole episode to me was just Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Everybody asked me, how did you like it? I'm like, it was Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was amazing. No matter how many times I watched it over and over and I knew it was going to happen.
Yep.
I was ready, waiting, excited, smile on my face. It was Star Wars.
Yep.
And I'm so glad that's the best way that I could put it, that's what it's come to back again, even with all that we got in this episode.
Yep. Yeah, it's Star Wars, and it's every bit of Star Wars, old stuff, new stuff.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So they're going to go to Navarro now. They mentioned they're still on their quest, but they can't get to Corvus yet, right? They're trying to get to Ahsoka. So that's pretty fun to know now that his quest is to get to Ahsoka Tano.
Right.
So
I
on
know.
the way, he has to stop at Navarro.
You love just saying that out loud?
Yes.
That's why I keep doing it.
They're on their way.
He's on his way.
Ahsoka.
We know for a fact, this is confirmed, 100%
Yes.
stuff. He's going to get Ahsoka Tano. Anyway, so they go to Navarro. But on the way there, we see that some Aqualish. So that's cool, right? Every week we seem to get, or every couple episodes we get one of our alien races from A New Hope.
Yeah.
And we get them into some nefarious position, or there's some kind of gangster or problem.
Right.
Have to deal with. So that's fun. Here's a little bit of my iffiness in the very beginning. I just didn't like. That they're in the Mandalorian covert.
Right.
First of all, right? And this is their base, and everybody just let this happen. Whoever was there, let it happen. Kara, this is all going on, and they're just getting it to it now. Where'd this ferret come from? If it's been living there the whole time, did they bring it here to eat it? What's going on with the ferret? I don't know. It just didn't. The whole scene didn't jive for me at all. I just didn't. And then when she beats their asses and there's all this stuff, she's like, now we're going to get this back where it belonged. How do you know where those coins belonged? How do you know anything? It just seems so out of whack. Like, so, you know what? It was Carl Weathers doing it, and it just felt 80s action nonsense.
Right.
And it's okay for that because it's entertaining. But when I look at it and I'm just like, why did that happen? And the only reason it stood out, and it was the smallest one of all of them, is there's a couple points in this episode where I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I know that they called her the Marshal, right? So she's the Marshal.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
get that.
Carl
So
Weathers, right?
So now we've got two Marshals now,
right?
In this season. So, but Marshal Dune, as we'll find out, is there on Navarro,
right?
Which we find out is oddly run by Grief now.
Right.
The entire damn planet is run by Grief Karga. How'd that happen?
And again, my question was time.
Yeah.
He's got the gray. The streets are, guys, I don't know about you, but I had a tear. If that wasn't Black Spire Outpost.
Oh, yeah.
It sure seemed.
It did.
To know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so hoping that we get that in this season somehow, because of what they showed us. So that was my question, Chris, was that as the whole, I've asked it from the beginning and how much time was gone. So he cleaned it up. He's whatever his title is now. Like
they never say, but he's really worried about trade routes and everything else being a hub.
Magistrate?
Maybe. He might have called himself.
So he's like the governor, and then she's her sheriff.
And you're right,
the
exactly.
Planet.
Marshal Dune.
Yeah, of the planet.
You're not catching, not the city, the planet.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Maybe it's tiny.
Okay.
That's how I took it, because
and that's where I'm at.
Map.
Yes.
Remember, and he said, "We're here."
You're about to catch me on one of my other problems, and it's always in Star Wars, distance and time.
Yeah.
And that damn map, I'm going to jump to that map right now. They said, okay, here's the planet Navarro.
Right.
Okay.
Here we are.
They've done this several times.
Here's this green area the size of a continent. We've got Asia right here.
Yeah.
On this side of Asia, we have this base we need to get to. Let's jump on a speeder.
Right.
And let's jam over there real quick. So they go across this continent in a speeder, and at some point she tells him to jet back because it's faster. So now he's going to jet his ass right back over this continent, right? I'm like, this is one of those things in this show, and I get suspension of disbelief. I get it. But this
Maybe
is just
the
like
planet's like a quarter size of Earth or something like that. It's
like our moon. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was thinking, Joey. And my other thought to what you just said was awesome. So when I have a jetpack, I don't have to worry about fuel.
Yeah. But
like ever.
But you know something? But
solar powered.
But this is it is a somewhat of a continuity issue, or not necessarily a continuity thing, but like I said, this is Star Wars. This isn't Lord of the Rings, right? Where they go, okay, it's a 3-day travel to this city here. No, this is Star Wars. You get in your Razor Crest and you fly over to the, well,
that's why I didn't even understand the boats. Honestly, taking a ship to where they were going to go. Somebody should have got on a skimmer or something and flew their asses over there last episode. We do a lot of things we shouldn't do, and one of them is drive speeders through lava valleys.
Right.
Potentially have we'll get back to that in a second. We're way ahead of ourselves in that plot hole.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let's come back to here. All right, so they've cleaned it up. Grief is somehow in charge of the entire planet.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody could use some repairs. That's just good Emmy-winning writing right there. And there was a whole bunch of those in this episode too. If you catch, like, there's a whole bunch of really overused quotes.
Cheesy lines.
This really got a lot of attention for a great episode, and it really was for what it was at the end. But there was a lot.
Again, 20 seconds of content made this thing epic.
You're really not kidding. All right.
I don't know about you guys, but all I saw was Cara Dune. Everything else just went right past me.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
and Chris, for what you're saying, again, why I call this episode "This is Star Wars."
Yeah,
like it went back to like even those lines, and then everything was just
cheesy lines, time and distance, everything.
I love
it. Real quick sidetrack on time and distance. Scott, you're doing a certain point of view. I don't remember if you got through the asteroid field or anything like that, right? Have you gone through that bit?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
We're noticing now that this asteroid chase was weeks.
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
It said in there weeks in the asteroid field. So when you're talking about Star Wars, distance and time, I need to stop worrying about it really because they just don't care.
Right.
So I shouldn't either.
Our shot in Empire of the asteroid field?
That whole thing when they were in the space worm and the exogorth
was weeks.
Weeks. I said the same thing.
Yeah. Well, again, that explains the gray beard.
Yeah.
Right. Some time has gone on.
Everything. Some time has gone on here, and it's hard to tell with the baby because we don't know how well he's aging. Right. Again, you can tell he's cooing.
I was gonna say that.
He's doing a lot of things, and he's actively using the Force. As we see. Okay, let's get to that part. They drop him in a school. Here we go. Let me put in a 4-digit code real fast. It must be uncrackable.
Right.
I'm going to go in here with this protocol droid who doesn't even say hello or acknowledge the existence of this child in the one empty seat in the school. I'm going to put the child here, and Kara is going to guarantee the child's safety. This droid has not said a word.
Right.
The kids are mad dogging. I've got a bully next to him, won't give him his macaroons. But you're guaranteeing that the child is safe while you go off on an adventure. And how long is this school in? You're going to go off to a base and come back and pick the kid up from the school. How long does this school go? I have a lot of problems with this episode for stuff like that.
Yeah.
But here's the deal.
It was just like they ran up to Walmart after dropping their kid off at the elementary school.
Exactly.
And then school's over.
That's all it was. It was out of control. But the kid steals every scene, right? They got to do it every week. And they sold those damn cookies yesterday on Mando Monday.
Did they really?
Those are legit cookies.
Who was selling
those are Williams Sonoma cookies.
Yeah. Williams
Serious?
Sonoma.
Wow.
Yeah, I really.
What do they call? They call them Mando Nummy. No.
I don't even care. I really hate them so much. I can't stand it, and I'm gonna get some.
Of course.
But anyway, that kind of cracks me up. Though, just that he can just leave him anywhere, and I know it's a running gag on the show, kind of, but right. It was kind of neat getting the hyperspace lanes, the hiding away and things like that mentioned. Those are mentioned in comics, or books and such. I'm actually in Dooku yet again, and they had just mentioned it in Dooku. So it's neat to hear those connections. So they're very good about connecting everything. Favreau and Filoni.
Yeah.
It's Filoni. I know Filoni is the one doing this. We can say Favreau all we want.
Right. It is.
Connecting all these dots from all these things, man. He is absolutely the one that we should be trusting to everything.
Right. That was a real fact. Like when Mando drops the child off in this classroom, he does there's a throwback, right? I can't leave him. Where he goes, I go.
Yeah, that's right. He is upset about it. And he didn't used to be that upset. He would just leave him.
And knowing that he's about to go off on this this dangerous mission, because every mission could be dangerous at this point. And
he doesn't even know yet. He literally just landed, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna take you on a trip and blow something up."
Like at least the last time when he left it with the frogs, he was in a safe environment, like a safer environment than again with in charge of a droid and kids that whatever. And the kid can't take care of himself just yet. Because what was going to happen if something happened to the kid, I think the kid would just destroy everything right then and there. Kill all the other kids, not kill
the
him.
Kid's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. They all
remember
sense
I
it.
called that. I still say that
he's going to crush somebody.
His dark side to him because he loves the danger, the everything so much.
Yeah,
and that happens in this episode later too.
Yes.
He does love killing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And real quick before you go on, Chris, tell me you did not love that. Not only is Apollo Creed doing this episode, but he gave us that Predator shot.
Oh yes,
yes.
I wanted it in there so bad. Like, come on, we've had. I'll see you in hell.
Yeah,
you really should.
Mando, you son of a.
Yes, that was great.
That was awesome. It was awesome.
They went right.
Yep.
And you got it. Oh,
yeah. What's the matter, Dylan?
Yeah. Oh man, it was. I wish as cheesy as it would have been. It should have been there.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah.
Oh, they didn't hold back the cheese at all. They laid on the cheese. You might as well have gone for it.
That's what I'm saying. It should have been there.
Yep.
Bounty Hunter B&B was asking if you noticed the IG-11 statue in the background.
That was awesome.
I didn't notice it watching it. I noticed it after when everybody else did the shot.
Pointed it out.
And I wish there was a little bit more like a fleeting mention of it because that would have been cool. But to have it.
Like Easter eggs.
And like Easter egg is
we'll find it.
just as cool.
If he walked up to it and like acknowledged it.
Well, yeah, right. Because I mean, that's like it wasn't. It's not a.
Nah. I love it the way it was because then we all had to find it. That's what they're doing now because they know we do it. They're doing that for us because they're like these assholes are gonna sit there and look at every single frame of everything. Well, so we've got to be careful or put fun things in. And then
it just makes more sense with that with the whole Navarro thing, right? Grief Karga is in charge. Cara Dune's the marshal. They're paying homage to IG-11, who basically saved them.
Where's the Queel statue?
Just to say,
exactly.
I'm a little hurt.
When the criminal elements out, the imperial elements out, and they're the heroes of it, and that's why, like
the Queel statue is going to be in front of the old base that they took over.
Yes,
two different spots.
There we go.
They got him and a bird stuffed in the corner somewhere.
And again, Marco, you say they're the heroes. They're the ones that cleaned it up. He was the head of the bounty hunters.
He was, but he was in the shadows. Like he couldn't. He was. Yeah, you're right. He was the criminal element of the.
Hello. He was the one keeping it going. Good Lord. Oh,
you're right. You're right.
The next person we see is Mithril.
Yes,
right.
He's back.
We call him Mithril. They call him Mithril, which we think is kind of neat because it's like a Kenner toy, right? These guys don't have their real names.
That's his race. Like, hey, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Working off his debt of 350 years. If every line
because he was cooking his
isn't like I want to smack somebody.
Well, yeah.
It just like it doesn't come off well. I'm just like it just come off really.
Well,
cool.
he had the bounty of the Mithril because Grief Karga, he worked for him. Yeah. Mithril worked for him and he was cooking his books.
Keeper.
Now we know that whole bounty was for him.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. I do love that.
So the idea of the Mithril working his debt off made sense. But 350 years worth for cooking books. I mean,
I love that he inked.
Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say that. That whole was just
yeah. He inked.
If we ever get made me ink.
Yeah, if we ever hear him, that better come with that attachment.
Yes.
Right. Like,
or you squeeze his belly and it just like mist comes out.
That's how the next toy is going to be a myth.
You got to fill it. You got to fill it with water.
Yeah, you got a little mister
and let it evaporate.
Right.
That brings the 80s right there, right back, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man. This whole episode was, to be honest.
No kidding.
All right, so this is where we get the green zone, the ridiculousness that is going over Asia. That's the plan.
Take these speeders.
Let it go, man.
I'll be honest. It's better than I thought at first. At first, I thought it was on the other side of the whole damn planet.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I had to rewind it 3 times to make sure it wasn't on the opposite side of the world. I'm like, okay, at least it's just a continent and half the world.
Right. Take these Nissan Sentras and.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got something faster. I know you do.
It was a trip to Vegas.
It was.
Right. Exactly.
That was it. Yeah.
So then they just okay. So we're gonna go to this base now. We need to destroy the rest of the Imperial element so we can save my planet. He says.
Right.
Oh, always with a couple troopers.
My planet.
There's just a few.
It's a skeleton
why
crew.
are there any troopers at all? Right. All right. So we got here. Mithral is trying to bounce out of this deal as he's driving. And here's what I want to talk about real fast.
Yeah.
I think somebody misread the emotion that was supposed to be going through Grief Karga's voice through some of these scenes. Because he says, I'm going to give you a choice. Either I take 100 years off your sentence or you go back and die in lava.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's all angry about the choice. How about I take 100 years off your sentence? It's like, yeah, that's cool. It's like a third almost.
Yeah, right?
Like
right.
He's like really angry about giving him that choice.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Like that Mithral is like, oh, no, don't take 100 years off. He's here anyway. Just a weird. I know I feel like I'm nitpicking this episode.
No,
and I am.
There's
like really weird stuff happening.
You are, and this is like with all the other stuff I get by, the cheesy dialogue and stuff like that. And I think I did mention this to you off air and all that stuff was that I've watched it several times because I have nothing else to do but watch the Mando. So
and cough.
Yeah, and the one thing that I was getting annoyed at Grief Karga's attitude towards the Mithral this whole episode. Yeah, he was barking at him, and I understand he's paying off a debt, but he's barking at him, and I'm sitting there going, dude, relax. Like, shut up for a second.
Even when he wanted to come in the door, he's all, how's another 30 years?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it sounds great, thanks.
But even when he was deactivating the thing, he was like, get over there and do it, or I'll, it's like, oh my God.
And why is Mithral all of a sudden the do-all? Hey, go over there and turn off. I'm going to trust you to go over and turn off the regulator.
So I'm with you on that. I was annoyed. I was getting annoyed by Grief Karga in this episode. I really was.
It was weird. And then the whole thing with, okay, you can come in because the lava thing's going to come flying through here. Well, you're leaving your speeder.
Right.
I have so many problems with this whole get up. I don't.
What if it levitates above the lava and just
like you can float up?
Yeah.
Right.
If it's lava grade, I'm cool with it.
You know what I'm saying?
The doors aren't, but as long as that's lava grade, yeah.
Right. I took it as kind of that sitcom-y again back to the 80s.
It was.
Because the way that he kept saying, okay, boss. Yeah, right. Boss.
Yeah.
All right, boss. You know what I mean? Like that little, what if they just haven't been sidekicks all this time? Like he got the bounty, he took off on him.
It could be that the Mithral is just annoying as hell, so you just want to bark at him all day. So, like.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Maybe.
Because he always had an excuse to go.
Yeah.
The one dude at work who always has an excuse to go.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna start this job. Hold on, let me go.
Yeah. So you're like, get over here and grab the screwdriver.
Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I'm just gonna barely miss that one. That's Mithral right there.
Yeah.
So
it could be
you
like
guys are leaving at 7.
Yeah.
That's Mithral. Shucks.
So that's how I took it. You're sitcom-y, I'm the boss, and you do what I say.
Right.
Right on. I do have one more nitpick. It's coming up, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
But anyway, it's not here though, because here, while we're on this base, this skeleton base, we see some of the coolest stuff ever in the history of Star Wars. Only because we know what it's leading to.
Right.
They bust into a lab, and these guys are quick to try and destroy everything. Right. And they don't. They can't destroy everything.
2 more doctors, right? 2 more doctors, the cloners.
The cloning label.
Best acting I've ever seen. Destroy it. Yes. Again,
the
I love it.
Imperials are always awesome.
Yeah.
Everything, just so you know. Now we have cylinders full of what look to be, okay, we're saying clones. We're assuming clones, right? It looks like clones. We've seen pictures. It even has a scar on the head, similar.
Yeah.
Not in the exact spot of Snoke. But if they're redoing over and over a bunch of things, it could very well be. Like Joey hit me up right away on that. He's like, is that Snoke? I'm like, hell if I know. It's way too early.
Right.
Then I see a picture.
Resemblance.
Then I see a picture later, and I'm like, holy smokes, it's Snoke.
There's nothing else. There's no other reason, in my opinion, right, to show that something that represents Snoke that we've seen in episode 9, that would show up in this Mandalorian episode, and then the dialogue that accompanies this confirmed it with me now. That is a Snoke body. This is a cloning facility meant for the Emperor's return. Solely for the Emperor's return. And that's we obviously found out that's what Snoke was. And the
I'm with Mando Mike.
Yeah. And the failed ones and everything.
Yeah, there are two different things that could be going on here and may be going on here.
Okay.
So first, I did a quick 3-minute theory on Hot Topic, right? And I'm seeing the same. I'm seeing that this is they're using the baby because the baby is the first clone of a Force user. That's how I'm thinking. Okay.
Right.
They've said he's not a clone, but Quill doesn't know everything, guys. And honestly, if they did it Force sensitive, Quill wouldn't know because it would be something different about him anyway.
And he's dead now.
So, and he's dead anyway, so nothing he said ever mattered.
Right.
Okay. So we go from Yoda to the baby is now a clone. He's the only one that's ever worked. They said in The Rise of Skywalker, there was all sorts of trouble making clones. That's why we have all these vats and everything of Snoke's, because they were having trouble. This is also in Legends, when they were doing the trying to clone Sabayoth, he was all screwed up, and Luke and all this stuff because they were versions of Force users, so they didn't come out right. This is the same type of thing happening. They're having trouble. So they're needing the blood of the child to make it happen.
Right.
We know now in the sequels that Snoke is eventually going to work.
Right.
Then they're going to use that same technology, possibly even the same blood, to make the Emperor work and at least come back a bit, right, to what we know. So now, and we know then, one of the clones of the Emperor, using theoretically the same blood, has a kid, comes off unforce sensitive, has a kid that's Rey, who is considered a Palpatine. So now I give to you that the Emperor Palpatine and Yoda are co-grandparents of Rey. And baby Yoda is the entire reason the sequels exist at all.
Right. Rey's got baby Yoda DNA.
Right. That's it. That's where we're at. And that's why, guys,
she can heal.
Rey can heal.
Exactly. Why those two Jedi, or not Jedi, those two Force users that in the history of Star Wars are the only two that can heal. And they made it a point in Mandalorian to show it, and they made it a point in Rise of Skywalker to show it. Those two can heal. Now, I was like, at first, when I was going through this in my head, I'm like, that's a reach, right? It's a reach, but it's not a reach anymore to me because of those specific. Now, the way they've been paying attention to detail so much, and with Filoni and for all these guys, the writers, pulling elements and all this stuff, and this is the sequel episode. I'm like sitting there going, like, my mind is blown, right? Like, oh my god, this could be 100% true, and then it also puts fear into what's going to happen to the child, knowing what we know from the sequels anyway. But
now we've also got to figure out there was something Gordon was mentioning today about time and cloning and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we also got to figure out how old these clones are and what's going on here.
Right.
Because a clone from the Kaminoans, right, would take 10 years to mature.
Correct.
Half a life cycle, right? So we're gonna go 20 or 10 years for a full life. But in Legends, like the Heir of the Empire trilogy, we're talking weeks,
right,
to get a full army, right, going. So the Sparty cylinders can be quicker.
Right.
So if they happen to pull out another, Legends out of their butt and call them those and say it's more that technology, but if not, it's fine because we know the Emperor clone and the Snokes are a long game anyway. 30 years later,
right.
This is 9 years after A New Hope, so we're putting us like 4, 5, 6 years after Empire.
Right.
I guess that's about when the Emperor would have been looking to do this because he started having visions through the books.
Correct.
Visions of this being overthrown.
Yeah. The whole thing about Force users being cloned and then regular people being cloned, right? Django and how there's no problems and everything. This is where, okay, I want to go back to the dialogue with the
Pershing.
Yes. So they get Dr. Pershing had a dialogue that they found out was only 3 days old. So they figured Moff Gideon's alive, right? Because it was addressed to Moff Gideon, and they had that revelation. Thank you. Revelation that Moff Gideon's alive, and thank you. So, but in that dialogue, he was requesting two things, right? He was requesting, one, he needed more blood from the child.
From the door.
And two, he also needed more host DNA. And I took it as two separate things. I don't think the child is the host DNA. To me, this is how I'm taking it. The Emperor's body that is being preserved somewhere, right, on Exegol or whatever, that's the host body that he's talking about. They need access to the Emperor to create more because they're running out of samples. They're destroying the samples as fast as they're creating them because they're running out of the child's DNA.
I'm right there with you, Marco.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that maybe they'll throw in the whole thing with Luke's hand?
Oh.
Oh, that'd be cool hosting.
Could. And it could show. I mean, I was thinking that too. As I rewatched, and exactly what Marco's saying, the words that he was saying, and then getting that shot of what we thought was Snoke. Yeah. I'm right there with you. And this is kind of where mine was going, was so, like Chris said, they're trying to use the blood of a Force user. And I think then they're using the Emperor and trying to meld them together and make them maybe already too old to begin with is what's messing it up. And that's why we have Snoke. That's what Snoke is. And like only one came out of it. That's why he was so powerful.
Right.
But that's why he was messed up. The eyes. I saw a really cool picture of somebody put ears on Snoke's head and everything. And like the eyes match up. And I was like, oh, holy crap. Like
he's part Yoda.
Correct. Well, that's what the child's blood. You know what I mean?
Right.
They wanted him to go too much. And then all of those other clones that we saw were mess ups, and you got to destroy it, but you keep using it and learning from it.
Right.
And I think Emperor, then what I got from that was to think further was that the Emperor's kid, the one who had Rey, just like you were saying too, is ones that they didn't do anything to.
Right.
And so there was a few out there who, let's see what happens.
Yeah,
and that's how you let them, that's how Rey manifested is, well, because some you just didn't do anything to. Or they got out. Or what if there's a scientist who was doing something on his own?
Question: Have they ever in Legends discussed the idea of infusing somebody with the say midichlorians or M counts of a Force user into a non-Force user?
Yes, that's actually what's going on. That's the second piece of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the cloning is for the Emperor.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This is the Emperor's plan right here. We're doing that. The other piece is from okay, I forget the base now. This was back in Legends and in games and in books, right? Where Kyle Katarn had to deal with it. Kyle Katarn from Dark Forces, right? Mm-hmm. Which is also going to come up in a second too. But anyway, there was a point where they were trying to inject regular people as soldiers and make them Force sensitive.
Okay.
So I do think right now that Gideon is working on making himself Force sensitive for himself.
That's what I was thinking too.
So I think there's a couple different things, and that's why I'm saying this episode got really big, really freaking fast, right?
In the span of 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I see Snoke clones, I see Gideon being Force sensitive on his own, and then in a minute we're gonna see a Star Destroyer with freaking Dark Troopers on it.
Right.
There is a lot going on in this episode where you're like, wow, dude, I didn't need the other 19 and a half minutes.
Right.
And right before that, the mention of you will be repaid in the new era.
In the new era. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
A great call to the First Order. Great.
Twice they're mentioning the new era twice. Right. And the bridge of these ships and in this base are feeling more First Order-ish than they are even Empire, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. To me, and I could be wrong, you guys see more toy photography and stuff. I feel like the walls are darker right now.
More gray? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
100%. I got the First Order feel of this with that Star Destroyer coming into play. The Admirals
was,
or
from Rebels. That was a command cruiser, I believe.
Yeah.
That one was actually from Rebels.
Yeah, it had more. Yeah, it had the to me it just I saw like the wings on it. But that chick that played the Admiral in there or whatever, but she was very First Ordery to me. And the uniform was changing a bit too. It wasn't 100% Imperial. Like there was a little bit different to.
Well, like Gideon is a little different than we've ever seen, right? He's a little Vader-like.
Little Vader, or Snow Trooper, like Snow Trooper armor.
Yeah. Actually, before we get to that, let's get my one last nitpick and then go to that Star Destroyer deal. So now we're leaving this base. We've set off the reactor. There's lava going to come flowing, right? First of all, like I said, hey, Din, jet back. It's faster. Go save the kid. Right. That's wonderful. Now let's all get in our speeder. We couldn't get in a speeder. Let's take this Marauder.
Right.
And fly it off the side of the building and hope for the best. I'm okay with all this. Okay, this is 80s action. I'm okay.
Right.
Let's go on this trip back across this continent and get chased by these speeder bikes, which was one of the best scenes ever.
Yes,
in Star Wars.
I agree. The biker scouts were amazing in this.
Oh my God. I went and rechecked my pre-order on Amazon.
yeah.
Absolutely incredible. They've done that move twice now with biker scouts,
Yeah.
and it's both been awesome. So keep doing that with the biker scouts.
I even love the fact that
this skeleton crew has biker scouts, TIE fighter pilots, and regulars troops.
I even love the fact that they had an accident. All of them jumping down. Two of them even killed each other.
Always. And then the other dude just looks back like, damn.
Yeah, but isn't that like
Straight
such
up Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, isn't it a great detail to flawed militia kind of stuff? I mean, you don't just have 10 guys going off a cliff on biker scouts and nothing happened to them. It was they were chasing them and 2 of them got into an accident. That was awesome without even being shot at. I think those are the little things that like you said, that 80s, that 80s vibe, that 80s thing with the unbelievableness of it and jumping off cliffs.
It's definitely a Star Wars trope because they even mentioned it in this last book here when they're going after the Falcon, the TIE fighters. They'd mentioned how one of them was always good. They end up swooping and hitting each other, and they know they're going to kill, and that happens. They know that happens all the time.
I love it.
That was during that discussion about weeks.
Even before that, the garage that he walked into where they were just parked.
Yeah.
Like it was a garage when he first.
Yes.
All the speeder bikes were there parked on the side. I'm like,
yes.
Oh my god! And Corinne's all what? I'm like, that's a speeder bike garage.
It's a Harley store.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know they can make that move, but why are we building the speeder bikes up there to just take off down this mountain? It's like the practicality of this design is just non-existent. It's like, come on.
But to see that stuff is so cool, like that. Like,
cool.
They just park them right there. Like,
but how are they going to get them back up there?
I don't know.
See, here's my thought about that. The platform right there, it could elevate lower, could raise lower.
Elevator. Yeah.
Maybe it's an elevator of some sort.
Okay, fine. It's not.
Maybe.
But it just...
Yeah, because when we see that design, right, the 3D thing, it did have, like, that pole, right?
Okay,
So
well, let's go with that. For the lava flow, it can move up and down.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
I'm good with all this now.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay, now we get back our folding TIE. After he blows up a biker scout, like point blank with that cannon, which was awesome as well. Now we get the folding TIE fighters back up.
Right.
Now, we gave a lot of credit for these folding TIE fighters. That was a J.J. Abrams design, like back from Force Awakens.
Really?
It was in the Art of Force Awakens. I had no clue. I saw it on Twitter.
That's cool.
So
nice.
I can't take credit for that. That was a good find. But that's not... Oh, it's Phil Stozak, the guy that does all the art books. Yeah. He's the one that mentioned. This was in our TFA book.
They're a different name, correct? They're not a TIE fighter, right?
It's a TIE something. Yeah, it's not like it's just a normal TIE, right?
Okay, so our normal TIEs that we grew up with is still like our toys.
The ones that hang.
It's just there, right? Yes.
Yeah, these are a special design, correct?
Okay.
So now these guys did. Now we get the TIE fighter attack, and we're getting right to the city. Here we go. We're jamming. We went all the way across. What was the point, guys? Why are they bringing the danger to the city? This is my question. This is my legit question.
Okay, and this was my only thing about the whole thing too. What was she kept saying? We're almost there. What was so safe about it? Did you have the giant boob nipple guns show up or what? Like,
not
you have those hidden somewhere?
Not a thing. They had no clue the Razor Crest was done when he came up. By the way, we've seen him pilot before, but this was his best piloting. This was an awesome, awesome bunch of fighting.
Dope.
But if he wasn't there, what was the plan?
That's what I'm saying. Right. Is there a you can't pass this line?
Yeah.
Thing? Right.
They
come to a screeching halt after this.
Spot. Yeah. And
it's a no gun zone.
Yeah, and then Joe, they keep going back and forth in front of them.
Yeah. Whenever they took off and the speeder bikes came after him, that was all they were aware that was after them was the speeder bikes. Right. They had no idea that the TIE fighters were coming. Maybe they still thought they were running from the TIE fighter or the speeder bikes. And
even the speeder bikes, why take them to town? And then once the TIE fighters came, they were shooting at them. Why lead them straight to town? We're almost there is not going to get you safe. Yeah. This is the last place to go. This is mean.
Yeah,
they're going to get people killed.
I didn't understand either because of that make-believe line you can't cross. Yeah, we're in town. Woo! We just...
Right. Yeah. Now let's talk about how quick they repaired that jacked up Razor Crest.
Yeah, right.
Two dudes.
Two dudes.
Well, how long were they there? Was it 2 weeks that they were scouting out the Imperial base for them to repair the Razor Crest?
They went from the Razor Crest to the school, dropped a kid off, went from the school to the base. Came back. No, they were gone for 2.5 hours.
I know. And then the thing was almost pristine, right? When it came out.
And now, just as you said earlier, we're talking Star Wars times. And if what we saw was months there, whoo. I don't know how long are they still following us? The TIE fighter's chasing them back into town.
Yeah.
That goes back to Chris's question, just how long was that school open? Was it there for a week?
Yeah.
There are 58-hour days on the
That's what I was going to say.
No idea. No idea.
Star Wars school is different. You go for one day, which is actually a year, and then you get some time off.
Then you get some time off.
Yeah, you sit there in school the whole time.
It's like, what the hell? It was such a wild, great episode because of the things we're talking about. I know it sounds like I'm being really mean to it because
no, you know what? Our time is actually very quick, so you're right that they did repair that because he still had the cookies.
Yes. He still had the damn cookies.
That's one roll of cookies that he stole and ate, and then he still had them on the ship.
Right.
So we do kind of get an answer.
Yeah. Is a cookie's worth. That's how far away he was. A cookie's worth. Anyway, so it's ridiculous. It's killing me. Anyway, so the kill, right? And again, we see he flies through everything. The kid's loving it. He blasts a TIE fighter and goes through it. And what's the kid do?
It cheers like he's on a roller coaster, man. Yeah.
The kid loves killing. He is trouble.
And then he vomits.
There is going to be a point, and he vomits. Where are the pops? How come those didn't come out on Monday? Where's my macaroon and throw up chase? I don't know.
And his face all wasted.
It's so awesome. Every scene he's in, he's awesome. He's just there now, and I like how they're doing with him. He's not part of the adventure. He goes in there. He's got his 5 minutes of quirky, right? But really, it's the Mandalorian doing his adventure of the week, which was never.
It's not overkill. It's just like a perfect amount of a child.
Yeah,
you're right, Joe.
It was still epic what he did.
Because if he was in there every scene like it was in the beginning, right? It would be like, I'm done with the kid. At some point, you can over cute it. He's just the right amount of cute every week, and it's perfect. Yeah. And never ever was it more apparent that this is the adventure of the week than it was.
Right.
I mean, they pretty much announced it. Grief announced, no, you're here for a minute. You're gonna go ahead and do a job with us. I mean, this whole episode, front to back, was fun. It was good. It was a good time. Good, well paced. And I think that's probably why some of this stuff gets overlooked because of the good pacing. Right. It makes them shorter because they're missing some things, but we're getting over it because the end point we get to is awesome. So
yeah, I could see that.
But the last scene
was amazing.
So that last scene on the Star Shore, now we get those troops, right? She walks over and well, go ahead.
Before that, the Cara Dune scene, Joe's favorite part.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So
that was pretty crazy. We get that guy back, which is awesome. That I haven't had a chance to listen to your guys' episode. But to know that guy was a cosplayer and showed up, and he's now in 2 episodes and helped them do all that, and he's back. That was my only second thing. My one was that whole timeline thing of if we make it back, there's a safe line. You're right. I was right there too. Right. And number 2, I can't believe he asked, "Did you lose anybody?"
Oh, right.
I'm like,
nobody
I
knew
just told
that
you
it was,
from Alderaan.
Right, exactly. Nobody knew that it was being destroyed, so there was no emergency ships to leave or anything.
Right.
Did you lose anybody?
Was he making a point? Is he being a dick right there?
I don't think so.
I didn't take it as that. I literally
because he acted it very well, right? Like he did in every scene this dude is in. The one with Grief, he was excellent with Grief. And then right here with Cara, he was outstanding with Cara.
Yes.
So
living the dream.
Yeah, for real. I want to be this dude.
Yeah.
That dude's been he's been an actor.
Yeah,
since
I saw he's Appa or something. I don't watch the shows.
Yeah, there's a different one and everything, but to be a huge Star Wars fan and cosplayer as he is, and to get to do that,
501st. He's got like 6 different cosplays so cool. He does. Yeah, it's pretty.
So rad. I don't know. I took it as like it was a serious question. I don't know. I found it so odd that every time I hear it, I laugh out loud, and not in that sense, but just did you lose anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that too. That was kind of a jerk move. Then I was like, you know what? Is he just trying to get her to tie in? And okay, you're right.
To get the feels, right?
Yeah, to get her to hook in, and it might have helped.
There's twofold in that scene, right? One, he's trying to lure her back into the fight. Like he knows who she is. And maybe that wasn't a reminder. Like, did you lose anybody? You know, like, well, maybe her family wasn't on Alderaan. Maybe she just was from Alderaan, and it was an innocent question. Like,
hey, to your point, real fast, he does know who he knows who she is.
Yes, she does know.
He knows who Din is. Yeah. He knows who all these people are. They're studying these guys.
Yeah.
It's like the rebellion when they were studying the rebel crew.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
And
we're gonna find out later. This is Leia.
Yeah.
Trying to find out about this crew over here.
Yeah, maybe. That
Are
would
we
be
gonna get
awesome.
a hollow message?
Mandalore, sorry.
I know.
That he
Don't
holds
do that to
them?
me.
I need you to see this.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the other thing he mentioned was fantastic was people don't want to believe it, but there's something what did he say? There's something going on out
something
here.
More, something going on.
Yeah, something.
Right.
There's more, but people don't want to admit it, and that whole
people
time
in the core don't want to admit it.
Exactly, and that's to me again. My immediate response went to there's rumors of the Emperor's not dead, and there's rumors of the Empire rebuilding. There's rumors of these
the Empire part.
The first order rumors coming up.
Yeah.
The whispers.
Right.
The whispers.
That was insane. What was the whole badge thing? Because man, I want one of those now.
First off, it's like that big. It's like
it's good. It's a rebellion or a New Republic badge, and a spoiler. It's obviously coming back. They're obviously coming back to Navarro. Because the Cara Dune Pop has that badge on it.
On it, yeah. Exactly.
That she's wearing it?
On it. On her chest.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you wear it like Marshall, like a sheriff star?
Like a badge, right.
Yep.
I loved it. I thought that was cool.
I did too.
I didn't get that. Okay, Marco, I can get what you're saying now. As far as because then what if it made her think? Like, of course you lost somebody and that's the reason we're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you toss the badge. Okay, I'll give you that. I never went into that. I was always more concerned every time I heard it.
Right. Well,
Jeez,
at first it's like,
jerk.
it's a no-brainer question,
it was like almost like he slapped her in the face. Like, did you lose anybody? Well, what the hell do you think, bud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, her only
No plan is
response.
done.
Yeah. In my head, before I even heard her response, I knew what she was going to say. I lost everybody.
Right.
I knew
Yeah.
that was going to be the response.
A lot of the stuff in there was pretty predictable. A lot of the whole, you want to get up here and drive.
I
looks
hate
like somebody
that
could
stupid
use
shit.
some repairs. A whole bunch of really overused stuff. We could see a lot of the lines.
Yeah.
Troops.
So does that badge then mean that she's part of the rebellion?
He's offering her a gig.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think once she has it on, I think so. She's a New Republic official, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to know.
Like, we need you back kind of deal. And here's
correct.
Official
that brings
invite.
them into the New Republic, which is basically the rebellion, right? It's Leia's crew, is that she did.
So we could see Rebels show up and start a base there.
Yeah, we could see.
Yeah.
Legitimately anybody.
Right.
At this point, we could see anybody. I would think
the Ghost crew could show up. And...
the Ghost crew could show up. Literally anybody.
Yep.
Okay. I just kind of wondered.
Vader.
I didn't know too much about that badge, but man, they really focused on it. And then she looked on it, and so
I'm really thinking. I think it was Marco and I talking about it. We talked about this off air. It wasn't on air.
Right.
Kashyyyk would be a pretty badass visit.
Yeah.
Because we're costumed, and Joannis would be, I'm sure, quite into it.
Absolutely. Yes.
In a liberated Kashyyyk for some kind of mission or stop by adventure.
We were talking about we were talking about in the timeline where everybody's at, right?
Oh, that's what it was.
So if they do go to Kashyyyk, Chewie's by himself. Remember, Han and Chewie are separated at this point in the time frame. So Chewie's on Kashyyyk.
Jakku, we're after Last Shot. We're after all this now.
Yeah. So
he's back to home.
Where's Han?
Han's out.
He's on Chandrilla
doing racing or whatever.
And what is
Kylo
Chewie
Ren's
doing?
Chewie's at home.
On home with his family.
Yeah, they liberated
Wow.
Kashyyyk, and now they separated their ways, Han and Chewie. Force Awakens is when they only got back together like, a couple years before that movie. But in Bloodline
they weren't back
right.
Hooked up.
So in the Aftermath series, when they liberated Kashyyyk, Chewie went home to his family and Han went off because Kylo Ren was born, right? Ben was born at that time, and he was trying to be a father or whatever, but he was separating himself. So
Han and Chewie were separated for at least 24 years.
Yes.
Okay, so right now Ben is born.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Ben's like 4 years old right now.
Yeah.
And so technically we could see Han in an episode?
Yes.
We could see anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah. and we know, and the thing is, we know how Filoni is, right?
Right.
Because he's obviously doing it right now. He's camoing the hell out of this one.
Right.
Rebels went from seeing a couple people into all of a sudden everybody. Single person we saw during that.
And what did we say about Luke Skywalker, right? We don't need really to see him.
I need to hear Red 5.
We need to hear that we need to reference this. Now, if we're getting into the meat of Star Wars with the series, right? A mentioning will do us so good. A Leia mention.
Ahsoka mentioning Skywalker I will lose my stuff.
Absolutely.
So how old is Ben right now?
That's what I wanted to know.
About 4.
So, according to the Aftermath,
Oh.
he was conceived in the aftermath of Battle of Endor.
Battle of Endor.
So the celebration at the Return of the Jedi.
He's Endorian.
Yeah.
So that party where he goes.
That's right.
What happened.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Ben was conceived in Chief Trippa's hut. Yep.
Just to yip nip.
Keep that dress on. All right.
Exactly.
Dude, that's dude. If okay, do you want what's his name playing Solo now?
Yeah.
To show up? Okay, and then if he
I don't know,
does,
he'd be,
I would love just a back shot of a 4-year-old kid and Han yelling at him. Just, God, that kid's so bad. And that's all you get. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just that.
Yeah.
yes, right, yeah. Like running through the Falcon. What are you doing? Like,
I am honestly thinking we're going to see some kind of propaganda stuff with Leia on it.
Yes.
That'd be cool. Be a good bet for New Republic, or a holo feed in the background.
Holo feed would be it'll work.
And with them saying Han Solo at the race, whatever, blah blah.
Yeah,
or somebody telling a story of Luke Skywalker. Did you hear
That'd
the
be
story?
cool.
You guys do this.
I know, right, Joey?
I'm right there with you. Because I was just so in Mando, and then just hearing, we got Bo-Katan, we have Mandalorians, we have Ahsoka coming up. Like my only thing was, are we going to get Hondo?
Yeah, the Mandalorian's just standing there like, hey guys, I'm over here.
I know.
Yeah, see, they went and blew it by bringing in the big picture, because now the big picture, every single buddy's in play. They're part of the giant Skywalker saga. And I didn't think they were. I
love this episode so much for what they did, and I had no thought of that.
Yeah.
I really did.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, to see that, whoa.
The 20 seconds of content, I say 20 seconds, maybe more, with the Snoke bodies and the mentioning of just, the Gideon and stuff. That, like I said, that changed the whole dynamic of, first off, the show and this episode, and it opened up the gateways of possibilities of, just like what Chris said, there's nothing that's off the table in our books anymore.
I can kind of see the same effect. Okay, like how Rebels did with the prequels, how it just shine this different light on it.
Exactly.
The Mandalorian can do the same exact thing for the trilogies.
Yes, and again, what we've got so far, to me, they're doubling down on what we've known. They're not trying to retcon. They're doubling down on it, which is perfect in my book.
Giving somebody the Force, right? Cloning all over the place, especially even quick ones of the Emperor.
Yeah.
And then the Dark Troopers, which we didn't really touch on too much right there, but the Dark Troopers.
The Dark Troopers, for
is a huge deal.
Okay, now what were those? Because I saw them, but I was like, dang.
There have been different iterations. Again, this is the Dark Forces game, right?
Right.
Which there's a possibility of getting Kyle Katarn thrown in here somewhere. I don't. Who do we have? Michael Biehn still hasn't been laid out.
Yeah.
And that feels like a pretty good fit.
Yeah.
I had him Cad Bane this whole time, but I think that's what's going to happen now. Damn.
I know, right?
I'm pretty sure that has to happen.
Again, did we need the Dark Troopers at the end of this?
They're big ass battle droids, right? They have been cyborgs. I think this is where they tried some of the Force sensitive stuff.
Right.
But these basically look like they're going to be the battle droid version.
Yeah.
And they do that back shot almost looked like a Vader.
The Vader chin for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like, I'm thinking Gideon might have a little Vader complex between the black outfit, a little bit of red in there. I'm like, I want to find out he's a Sith elitist. That's what I want to find out. He's a Sith Eternal.
Yeah. That's what I want to. That's right there, Chris. Would if we find out later down, even if it's next season, whatever, that Gideon is Sith Eternal, man.
Bro,
that'd be awesome.
What if Gideon found? Stop it. Nobody's ever talked about Vader's chopped hand.
Oh, if Gideon finds his
right.
Stuff, yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I was just gonna say, where's
that was
Vader's
discussed in
saber?
Aftermath though, but they don't know where it. Remember they hawked it, saying that it was Vader's, but nobody could prove it.
His saber.
Yeah, but it might still be fake. So yeah, having Vader's hand would be sick.
Yeah,
that'd be better. I want Vader's.
Like we talk about Luke and this and that and everything, and
Vader's hand. Hell yeah.
Connected to the freaking Death Troopers is his hand.
A robot hand.
Oh God.
See,
yeah.
So quick question, just a quick diversion here. The planet that we're headed to for Ahsoka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Corvus, right? Have they given a name yet to Luke Skywalker's training academy, the planet that academy is on?
Oh, good question.
I have no knowledge of that.
I don't either, but wouldn't it be kind of cool if that was it?
Absolutely.
It would be cool, and I'm going to look it up. I think they named it, but I could be wrong. So I might be thinking the planet they were training on with Rey and with themselves as the same planet.
It's
different.
If it's named, it is in the. If it's named, it's in the Rise of Kylo Ren comic.
You're right.
It's got to be because it's actually featured there. It's right there. Wow. I'm gonna check.
Okay.
You go check.
Yes. So then, could that go into then if Luke they hand off the child to Luke and our whole he was just a bad kid. No, he wasn't. Maybe you said, but we know that he died because every child there died.
Well, there's a couple possible scenarios.
A couple got away though. He said a few got away with him.
Well,
and they weren't the Knights of Ren,
right?
Okay, so
they were the students that chased after these guys that chased after him.
What if?
Oh, right, yeah,
that's right.
What if Ben and the child kick it together?
See, I would love that. I actually with the fact that I think Ahsoka's going to realize what this is. Right.
Right.
She's going to name him, and she's going to say it's Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
that's what she's going to say. She's going to say those words.
Yeah,
Master Yoda.
Baby Yoda. So, it's a Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Something like that. So she's gonna do something silly like that. I don't know, man. They're gonna realize somehow that the kid can't be in the academy. That he needs something different.
Yeah.
But Dan's gonna think it's
because he's
having trouble. Yeah.
Now I know that you guys discussed the age thing. The last you and Scott did. I still think that the child is too young. Even if it's brought to Ahsoka or even to Luke Skywalker, he's still too young with the motory skills needed to start a Jedi training. Now he's Force sensitive, absolutely. So
you say he's young, but he's 50.
Yeah, I know.
He's absorbing this stuff. He's obviously understanding.
I get it. But
Jedi were kidnapping babies.
Yeah, no, you're right. But they had the motory skills to hold a lightsaber and to do things and to communicate.
And we still theory craft that. What if this dude just starts talking because he's playing it up the whole time?
Yeah,
that would be a weird.
To see what's going around. I mean, what if he sees Ahsoka? She says Yoda. He knows he's a clone of Yoda, and just immediately
he's like, "Look at here, man.
Well,
I'm hungry,
right?
And if you don't feed me right now, I'm gonna take that saber." And I'm gonna whirl it up your
all in a deep old voice, dude.
Look at here, man.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. I just
like I said,
there's so much that could happen.
There's a couple scenarios in my head that's gonna happen to the child, right? I think to me he's too young to be trained, so he's not gonna be at the Jedi Temple when Kylo Ren destroys it. You're gonna have. Or scenario 2, this child is destroyed using all the DNA to bring the Emperor back from Rise of Skywalker. Okay. Or 3, at the end of our Mandalorian episodic series, before we get into the sequels and everything, he has gone off to his own species or off to another part of the galaxy for training, whatever. And then we're going to fast forward 300-400 years where the child is, like we've talked about this, right? People dig up the Luke and saber that Rey buried. Mm-hmm. You have the child. You have the child that's growing up in the Yoda, kind of a story that's going to propel the future of Star Wars. So,
yeah, I think that can do that. I think that's the best way to do it is get him a couple 100 years later.
Yeah, I mean,
and I've got to the point where Scott and I were talking the 18 years the same as 50 years type of thing.
Right.
Stuff right. He should be 18 right now, but he's not.
Right.
I don't know if we talked about clone. We talked about clone acceleration. Maybe he was clone decelerated.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe he's going to last even longer. And he can go. This sucker could go 4 times 900, and he'd be 18 to 3,600 years
I'm
old.
still.
Well, you're saying, so you're saying, so what if his age is like how they say dog years?
Yeah.
Their years compared to ours. What if it's his 50 years is like really like 5 years to us?
Right.
That's what we're mapping out. It's kind of
right.
now.
He would be 18 years old was the math that we ended up doing.
I'm still under the mindset that he's not a clone, but That's just me, though.
Real quick, there was no mention of the name in the Rise of Kylo Ren book of what the planet was. It could be. Mando Mike did a real quick Google search because I can tell you right now that Mando Mike does not know anything about Legends. Talking about the Jedi Praxium on Yavin 4, but that was Legends. That was his old temple in the old canon.
And there was a Corvus in Legends too. So it's just we gotta, it's I think we're just working in new stuff here. We don't have all the info yet.
That's what it is.
Do you remember what the Corvus was in Legends?
No, it was 2 words though. It wasn't just Corvus. And I don't remember. I think it was a moon. I don't remember what it was for at all.
Hey, I had a question for you just to talk about Empire stuff and everything. Last episode that I did not understand. Hydra thing. Has that been around?
The what now?
The Hail Hydra thing where he bit down and electrocuted himself.
Oh, right.
That's something that's been around, or was that newly introduced?
That was pretty new. I haven't heard of anybody doing that in any of the books. There was never they might have taken a ship down or something, but I've never had anybody bite their tooth off and pull a move like that. It was
the electricity shot.
Yeah, from last week. Yeah. No, that was awesome. That whole episode was awesome too.
It was.
They really haven't put out a dud. I've nitpicked this one to hell, I know, but they haven't put out a dud yet.
This one,
but even with your nitpicks, it was still awesome though.
Oh yeah. I just had to call it what it was.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody seems to be overlooking a lot of really glaring issues.
Yeah, we tend to do that.
There's the people who are still on the Mandalorian who just jumped because of season 1, the popularity. I know Star Wars or anything like that, and they just go on that was a lot of cool action,
right?
And they don't understand exactly everything that we talked about.
Yeah, because
it was huge.
We joke around saying filler episodes because people are still saying they're tired of these filler episodes. And I'm like,
they wanted Ahsoka right away, and it's like, what?
Right,
it wasn't going to happen.
But they'll still say that's a filler episode, right? Because
probably.
So now where are we? Because we think we're all in on Ahsoka's coming this Friday, right? I mean, he's got nowhere else.
That's where he's going. He's going to the planet. So
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced it's happening before this or until the season finale.
I say if she does, it's going to be like the last 3 seconds.
So you're looking at cliffhangers.
I still don't say it's the next one. Do you think it's Fridays?
I think it's Friday.
Say no.
I don't think so.
Ernie's going, no, I'm going with, only because they were on the way to Corvus, stopped at Navarro. Now he says, now we're off.
Right.
Unless they get stopped, which they could. We could have like an all space battle type of thing where he can get stopped by bounty hunters in space.
We still need to know what happened with Boba.
And we still need to, but we can't go back to Tatooine yet. Unless
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The way that this has gone on, which is so badass, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
And my theories of everything that was happening there, now I'm lost. I don't know where Boba comes in.
Me either.
I am
last episode. The way that it's going. You know what I mean?
You might not like this, Ernie, but I think we won't see Boba again. I think that was for us. I think that was for the fans to show Boba was alive, and it could come to play later.
Or his
but I don't think
new show.
Well, he's going to get a spinoff. Is the rumor?
Yeah, the spinoff, or he'll come to play later. I don't know if he'll make another appearance this season.
I don't think we wouldn't go back to Tatooine. You don't think we're going back to Tatooine?
Correct.
Again?
I think we're done with Tatooine, and honestly, because of the stuff that they propelled forward the last 2 episodes, it's like, how can we?
Well, and they did say we were not going to get any closure on anything, and leaving
that too.
On the first episode is absolutely the epitome of no closure.
Right,
exactly.
What would be a real reason to go back to Tatooine?
Because Ahsoka says that has to do with Luke Skywalker.
The lightsabers aren't there. Shit.
Right.
She just mentions Luke. I don't know. Luke somehow Luke and Tatooine something.
Kenobi's hut.
That too. Yeah.
Go grab something. There could be reasons. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Either they don't go to
Tatooine. What if that was the last place they knew where Ahsoka was, and he goes all the way there and she's not, and he says
left the Tatooine be back on Friday.
Oh, wait a minute.
She's at a hut in Tatooine.
Yeah, that would suck.
Boba's armor, right?
He does have Boba's armor.
He does, yeah.
Oh, so technically, he doesn't have to go back to Tatooine. You're right, Joe.
Boba could come after him.
Right.
There you go.
That's what I was just going to say. Boba could be going, if we're going to see him again, we could see him, not on Tatooine.
I honestly don't think the armor is that important to Boba Fett because, Boba was... Or he would have had it back. There would have been no problem with Boba taking it from Cobb.
I think he saw what Cobb was doing with it and let it go.
Correct. And then I think it was more of that was his armor. That's what people thought. And all these years he sit out. Now here comes a Mando, doesn't care about it, just wants the armor. Maybe now feels safe that he can leave.
Yeah.
There's nobody after Boba now. He can go ahead and leave and reobtain it, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. I'm having trouble with this whole bit here because we've got to tie up.
Hey, do you think the Mandalorian knew who Boba Fett was when he saw his armor?
No,
but Kyle Katarn, Jesus Christ, Bo-Katan will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
They're from the same era. She's gonna know of.
Exactly.
Right?
I know.
I just think that what they've set up with Ahsoka, the Darksaber, Bo-Katan, all that stuff. I think that they got to propel it. They got to get the story to go that way. They really got to propel it that way instead of like I would love interaction of Boba Fett. I would love them to team. I would actually love the Mando and Boba Fett to team up. Instead of being rivals. But
I don't think we're gonna get that.
I honestly
think
that was just for us, and I think that was just again to set up something in the future.
Yeah, but there's so many plot points. I'm telling you, we're getting into that Iron Man 2 piece right here where we're setting up a Boba Fett series. You can see it, right?
Yes.
There's supposedly going to be a Bo-Katan Kara series. You can see that.
I heard that.
I don't want to set up 3 and 4 different shows for the sake of this show.
No.
And that's where I'm kind of starting to feel like I'm getting a little worried because we have a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Because everybody wants the Darksaber from him, but I mean, okay, look, Gideon wants the child. But Bo-Katan wants the Darksaber.
To rule Mandalore, yes.
Right, and Gideon wants to be Force-sensitive, and the only other Force-sensitive person with a lightsaber is going to be Ahsoka. There's a lot going on in 4 episodes. I don't see where Boba even could fit.
Right.
Correct. That was my thing.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Well, again,
that's why I think it's next season.
Yeah, that's
or in his own spin-off.
I'm with Scott. Yeah, I'm with Scott with the next season thing. This is a season to set up a lot, and they are setting up a lot.
But can you get away with first showing his shoes one season, then showing his face the next season, then showing him a little bit the next? Can you get away with that?
No.
If they keep giving us material at the quality level that they're giving us, yes, they can.
True, because
they're going to keep introducing Ahsoka.
By the third one, though, I would need an explanation.
Yeah,
just a little side. By
the third one, he's going to be here.
Okay,
it's going to be. That's my prediction. Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Next time you see him, you are going to see him. You're not going to see just his face.
Right. He'll be in it.
You're going to see.
I think there's going to be a battle. He's going to be on the Razor Crest somehow. See his old armor, put it on, come out and save the day. Well, it doesn't quite fit, and go out there and wreck stuff. It's going to be cool.
I got to go real quick. Thank you.
You're welcome. But that's what's going to happen. He's going to see it, put it on, save the day, and we're going to be like, "Oh,
that would be awesome." Yeah. And
but
again, what you said about Disney about it going off into these other shows, I'm down with that though, because if you continue from this,
none of which are confirmed.
Right. If you continue from this base, and it goes around, maybe the whole. This is how this huge First Order starts. Right. You remember that was pretty huge, and then not only that, but in 9. We had all those ships at the end with the Emperor. That still has to be explained too.
Right.
So if we get different scenarios of how that all happened.
I like it. You know how they're doing the High Republic is all books and comics, right? It's all that media. This could be the New Republic era, and it just be all Disney Plus shows.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. And it's all just combining, filling in this 30 years we didn't have, 27 years we didn't have. So
and after a couple of years, we're loving 7, 8, 9 for the shows that gave us to explain everything.
Right. Or at least it gets rid of some of the crap that people complain about. Like right now, I'm telling you, nobody can hate Ray because I'm going to tell him, well, that's Yoda's grandbaby. So
that's
now,
true.
The dumbest thing I heard was somebody go off on 2 of the dumbest things. Enough with the filler episodes. After this last episode,
I can't believe
somebody
that.
said, enough with the filler episodes. Let's get to the meat and bones of the story. And then the second thing was, how many other people are just not excited about seeing Ahsoka Tano on screen, or Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano?
That's all political. That's all political.
Oh my god! Yeah,
all of it. And I'm just done with those people.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you right now. When Ahsoka pops on, even if it's for a second, I will cry. I'm gonna lose my shit that first second.
Yeah.
Sorry again.
Yep.
No, I totally get it. I know this sounds like a jerk, but man, I would love to see a behind the scenes with Dave Filoni as that was shot.
Oh yeah,
Like it was just
Seeing his creation finally in
exactly
live
for
action.
him to see it and everything. Like
Wearing the Ahsoka Lives shirt.
Right?
yeah.
No,
Tears just all big old snot
Right.
bubble. Just oh god.
Yeah, I think she's going to be a big part of this. I think that we're going to get a whole arc in this next 4, and she's going to run the arc. I hope.
Be so cool, like she did in Rebels. I mean, one day she's just there, and the next thing she's in almost the rest of the season.
And I can't see Gideon fighting Bo-Katan if he's got the dark side. I mean, I guess he has to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I hope she busts out that shield, the little.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And it stops it.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
But Ahsoka fighting the dark saber, I think that's what Esposito's been alluding to, right? He said he's going to have some action with the dark saber. He's had to get in shape and do training, and we're going to see him get physical. That's what he said about this season, and he said even more for next season. So I mean, it's like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot to say.
Okay, so Bo-Katan
wasn't really even if he wasn't really like sword savvy, or even Rosario Dawson, whoever who plays her, they can do computer graphic like
oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what if Bo-Katan faces him though because of the dark saber and she wants it back? And what if we see the first representation of Snoke take on Ahsoka?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Whoa.
that would be. My mind didn't even go there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll take it there. That's good. That's great. I hope and then he kills her.
No, this is where they have to get the powerful Snoke.
Right. We're all.
Can you mute him? We don't need to hear anymore.
And then he kills her. No.
Okay, so somebody's dying. Either Bo-Katan or Ahsoka's dying this year.
Man, no, don't say that.
Or
I want a Bo-Katan spinoff. Joe, how did you feel about Sasha Banks?
It was okay. I mean, she didn't really say much. She really
Sometimes that's good.
Yeah, I thought she was good.
Well, I mean, she blew up on the internet. Everyone was just like raving about her.
I loved it.
She saved Baby Yoda and said, "I got him," right?
Yeah.
And then came up and saved him, ripped the thing off.
That
right?
kick that she did. Oh,
right? She
man.
kicked ass.
Yeah.
She ate that squid all hot like.
Oh, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I was okay with it.
Literally, it made me gag.
I was a little worried with having a WWF wrestler come in, but after that episode,
I'm sold.
She did good.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Bring more in.
You know, we had talked about last week. I was kind of bummed the dude wasn't Sabine's brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was totally waiting for that.
Well, like you said, you'd also mentioned too. I think the dude a little too old, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Did you? Okay. Speak about age. You go back to that episode. Do you guys feel Bo-Katan is a little too young?
She should be about 50 right there.
Yeah, I'm with Scott. Honestly, I don't care.
Yeah.
It fits. It works. But she should be around late 50s at this point.
She's only about 6 years younger than she should be on the show. So I mean, it's like she looks good for her age.
And let's also look at what they said at the very first or the second episode of the show. Some species age differently than others.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. She's.
Because me and Marco were trying to figure it out the other day.
don't
We're
know
like,
how-
okay, how old should she look? Like, what age is she?
50.
Right.
Yeah, she's like 50.
And Ursa, I mean,
She's
I
the
know it was in
baby's age.
Rebels. I know it was in Rebels, but they didn't make her look old in Rebels, right? Ursa ran Sabine's mom. That's
Right.
Be about this. That's the age.
Hey, I was just saying,
Oh,
hey,
no,
she's
Ursa was the same age as Bo-Katan, if not a little bit younger.
she's a hot grandma. I mean, hey, what?
Approximately.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Guilt.
Yeah. She's awesome. I'm good. And it was really her. That's the big thing, right? You used the voice actor and made it. That's why it's Lars Mikkelsen going to be Thrawn when we get it.
I'm in.
And
I'm
then,
in.
so do you still want a Ashley cameo next time?
Cameo.
As
she deserves it.
yeah, she does. She does deserve it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping for that too. I really am. A cameo of some type.
Yeah.
I would even appreciate if Ahsoka's telling her story and she has to go to a flashback and they show a young her.
Oh, I see.
Even just pose it up.
Yeah.
Do an Ahsoka pose and then that's it. I would be like, awesome. Okay, you guys are, hats off to you.
Yeah, I would think that would be in the cards again with this
group, Mandalorian.
With this group that we're getting, everything's on the table in my book. There's nothing that is off. Like, no, that's impossible because they don't have a track record. It's like, no, dude. Yeah, it's all possible.
Hey, to take it off a little bunny trail here, the Boba Fett series. So they said today that it's going to take place basically from the end of Return of the Jedi until this time frame here.
Okay.
That's 5 years of him on Tatooine without his outfit.
Right.
Isn't that basically what we're getting with Kenobi?
That's kind of the point. I can figure out what Kenobi's going to do. I can play that out. What am I going to do with another hermit on Tatooine for 5 years?
Well, exactly.
Unless all he's doing is telling flashbacks to people of his stories. And then we get flashbacks of him bounty hunting. That's probably the only thing. 8 episodes of that, maybe. But I can't. I'm just not. I'm excited about a Boba Fett series, but I wanted a Boba Fett Prime series.
I think it always starts with him sitting in the Tusken Raider gear, and there's a fire, and he starts out in the language of, and then it flashes, and it goes into what he's telling.
Let me spin you a yarn.
Right, I'm down. I'm down. But you know what? Because it's funny because he can go back and tell stories about his dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And you can see a Django episode, and then he can go back about himself.
Yeah.
Tell stories about the clones.
And then the end of the whole Boba series of catching it up to time is when Din shows up.
There it is.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, why don't we work for Disney?
I know.
I think they could take care of the whole Boba Fett thing on Tatooine in a flashback in this show. I want to see him from here on out. I want to see him move on.
Yeah. Here on out is fine.
Yeah.
But my problem is,
I want it all.
Till now is an issue. Why?
Yeah.
Right.
I want to see him back in the outfit. I don't want to see him non-outfit.
Right.
Yeah. A
of
couple
course.
flashbacks are cool, but give me something from here on out.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Story progression.
There's this theory of he was in the Razor Crest. He sees the armor, doesn't want to, has to put it on, and freaking saves it. Oh god,
that's going to be awesome. That's going to happen. 100%.
Oh, do you know what I did see that I did not catch? I never caught the statue. I had to see a picture of that online. That was cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
You mentioned it later.
Mm-hmm.
But also somebody saw when he landed in front of Kara and them, there was still somebody in carbonite in the back.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, oh man, I saw the pause. It wasn't clear enough, but you can see it. I just haven't paused it myself to see.
I was afraid you were going to say that you could see Quill's skeleton still lying where it was left.
When they were flying?
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
Quill.
not okay.
The trooper's helmet that rolls right next to
yeah.
Just in the wind.
it. Yeah.
Man, but what a like I said, an epic episode, a very nitpicky one, but at the same time, one that gave us so much substance.
When you throw that much good stuff in it,
yeah,
it's easy to miss some of the other things. And I think that's what happens with people when they look at like old legend stories. They miss a lot of the crap.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good lore and things, right?
Yeah.
So they keep getting that stuff. Like right now, we just got a lot of good lore and story this episode, so we're going to overlook the crap. And there were a few. It was by any means the best done episode.
Correct.
Best or well acted episode at all.
Correct.
But it was definitely out of all 12 episodes the most lore heavy, biggest encompassing the entire saga episode.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's what we needed.
And did you guys think we were going to get this much Empire?
Hell no.
Much Empire in the series alone? And let alone the last 2 episodes? I mean,
and like we're a real empire now, not even remnants. These guys are what's left
because
after
they
the
said
destruction of 2 Death Stars, but it's
because they mentioned the fleet. We're gonna meet up with the fleet, and that right there got me goosebumps. Like, yes,
yeah,
because he has to shut off the reactor.
Yeah,
the reactor was brought back, and then he says no rails.
No rails on the reactor.
God.
Yeah.
Everything was in this episode.
Yeah.
It was. They did a really good job with a lot
they
of
did.
that stuff.
And that was in a corner was the reactor, just like Obi-Wan. What you had to do.
Like who does
Stormtroopers running.
Yeah.
But, and again,
numbers.
And again, Mythrol, do that. Like bite me.
I know. Bite me, right?
Yeah, you go do it. I'm not doing this.
Right.
Then let's go turn on the message. But I want to go.
Yeah.
Turn on the message.
Get your
It was a lot.
pair of pliers over here or whatever.
I think one of the reasons why we weren't expecting so much Empire in the series is because according to the timeline we'd been handed so far, the Empire doesn't exist anymore. They're in the outer reaches trying to build up into the First Order. That's why everything that they're doing Imperial-wise is just, it's like a icing on the cake, you know?
Right, it is.
Surprise.
And we're still calling it Empire. This really is the new era. This is an Empire. We keep saying Empire.
Right.
They said it in the last one,
they said it too.
The Empire.
Well,
they did say it.
They did. But they're
Empire.
also giving those hints of the new era, the
That's kind of what it was. Even in Bloodline was still not even saying First Order.
Right.
And that was 27 years. That wasn't even back here. So
right.
Scott's right though. Like that of we weren't thinking it, and then to see all this happening. So it's not even. Yeah, we had a cheeseball episode, but the way that they're bringing them in is not to say like that was a lab, and then
right.
Yeah.
I mean, in season 1, whenever we got the trailer for season 1, and we saw the stormtrooper heads on the spikes or the helmets on the spike, that's what we thought we were going to see as far as the Empire.
Very
goes.
scarce, remnants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not full on Star Destroyer.
No.
Troop carrier,
and
shiny armor.
Basically, you still have a job.
Yeah.
If you're a stormtrooper, like it didn't go away.
And that's what makes me excited for this series. Not let alone that it is an epic series, but just my favorite era of Star Wars is the Empire era. You know, that's and just even if it's the remnants of it and that building and transforming into that new one. Because remember, I've always told you guys this. I've always had a problem with the First Order. How fast, in our minds. Because it's not marinated enough, right? We went from 33 years, boom. Oh, so First Order, it's this all new look, all new whatever, and they're just a bigger, badder empire, and I never bought into it. But when you get these slow transitions and these slow, like more Dark Trooper, or more, here's a Darksaber, where's that going to come into play? Now we got the Emperors, is the DNA, and all that stuff in this, and now we're seeing that morph coming into the First Order. It's actually going to make me view, just like Joey said about Rebels and the prequels, or Clone Wars and the prequels and all that stuff. It's going to make me view the sequels as a different light. It might make me more appreciate it a lot more than I do now.
When they called out that "Long Live the Empire," and the whole trying to drive it down, and I was like, dude, that surprised the heck out of me and everything. And then how you say what it morphed. At that time, when he said "Long Live the Empire" and he killed himself,
right?
It kind of makes, in my head, Hux' speech of screaming, even more relevant,
right?
Because they're so strong for it,
right?
When as we saw Hux, the First Order, and you're like, whoa,
easy, dude.
But you see this happen of how much they're about it, like, oh, okay, wow.
Exactly.
You're to that point right there, we could see Brendel Hux, and we could see them start taking kids. That could be a plot point coming up here in the show.
That's right.
Stealing children.
When we go back to Navarro and all those kids are gone.
His dad? Didn't they talk about
Brendel is the dad?
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
And that means we could see him too,
Yeah.
right? Child. We could see him as a kid, because right about this point is where he is. He's gone off with the First Order, basically, right?
Yes.
He's in the Aftermath series. We see him, right?
Yes.
Yes. So he's being bullied.
He should be a little older.
So he's in control of a group of kids. Oh, we're going to see the kids. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
If we're going to see the Empire this much in the new era, there's no chance of.
Think about it. If we go back to Navarro in seasons 3 or 4, right, and we're getting this fast forward, and maybe that school is gutted now. Maybe the Empire came and took those kids that we just saw being trained or learning right now.
They're in the Outer Rim, man.
And Greef Karga and Cara Dune is all distraught. I mean, Navarro may be a wasteland by that time.
They go back to that planet, the swamp planet, where he had his little side chick, and they take all the kids there. Like everywhere he goes and visits, all the kids are
That's
gone.
Right. Exactly. All of a sudden, like you get like exactly
the kids in the school. Wow. Gosh dang it!
It'll never happen because we want.
I know. We just said it, so they're like. Write that out.
And we're here breaking down episode 4. Crap.
We're in season 4, episode 6
right now. We're finishing out 9 right now.
We're way out.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. And by episode 13, we're going to get Luke's explanation because wow. Yeah, he accidentally killed the child, and that set him off.
Yeah.
Luke. He said,
he said.
Do you think we're gonna lose
the child? The child tried to choke out Luke.
Oh,
his anger.
I would love it.
Luke had to kill him,
I would love it.
and
They
that
get,
sent him into
straight
his
up-
exile.
Straight up battle.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
the
much
child starts
potential.
doing
Man.
all the flips. We're like, there it is, the
Right.
Yoda flips.
So
Yeah.
much potential. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Hey, wait, and this is
Remember
why
that-
this
remember-
is why Yoda's so cocky about Rey too, because he knows it's his blood in her. And he says she has everything she needs.
Everything she.
Remember the art too? That's always gone around of the Dark Yoda,
Yes. Yes.
the red eyes and everything. Oh
Yeah.
my God! Would you not flip out one time that
I would love it.
he yells at the child and the eyes turn red?
He becomes the one that we saw in Clone Wars, right? Like the evil side
Right.
of Yoda.
Yeah.
Love it.
So that's Ray's new name, Ray Liotta.
Oh man!
Joey is on.
That's
point.
hilarious,
Yeah.
Joey. That is
Great.
you
That's
almost
the title of the episode.
almost. had it.
Somebody pointed that out.
Oh,
One of
God.
the girls in the school had the Ray hair.
Yeah. I saw that today. Someone pointed that.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it's not
Yeah.
Ray,
It's-
but
exactly.
the three buns.
Yeah. It was an Easter egg. Like.
Well, yeah, kind of like. Well, I
A
see
nod.
it.
The
Those
nod.
mind tricks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean of how we're bringing up all this First Order stuff. Oh, look, there's. a
Well,
little
think
girl
about-
in the
I was-
background with Ray's hair.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, I was telling Chris that I go that it's almost like a premonition of what this episode is going to be about when you see that girl, right? And she has the Ray thing raised from the sequel, and this was pretty much a sequel episode of The Mandalorian, you know, with sequel content.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like here's that little snippet.
Sequels, Legends, video guys. It was too much.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I can't wait for
Sequels,
Friday.
legends, oh my!
I can't wait for Friday.
I can't after this episode. I need to go like just watch a show and
Friday's so far away.
calm down.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thursday at midnight.
Friday morning for me.
yeah.
Friday morning.
I know.
No, I'm
I know.
not working Friday morning, so I'm definitely.
All
I don't work
right.
this Friday either, so I am too.
So I think we can
Oh,
we want to wrap this up. Are we good to go?
Yeah,
Or-
we're good.
Cool, guys. This was a lot of fun. Man, again, so many more theories and questions in my head that I need answered or don't need answered. I just need more expansion on. And like I said, the little bit of stuff that we get, we still need a lot more information. You know, a lot more information. And, it's coming. So, what is that, Scott?
Oh,
It's a
Jedi
temple guard.
guard.
That's awesome.
nice.
Sorry.
Somebody went to downtown Disney.
Random toy time.
Exactly.
That's right. No, I was going to bring up the fact that the Star Wars comic book lately, Luke went on a side quest to find it to get his lightsaber.
Oh.
I think we had brought that up before. And it was, he never got it back. His lightsaber is long gone, but he had a vision of a woman catching his lightsaber.
Which Luke are we talking
Oh.
about?
Bespin.
Luke Skywalker. This
No.
this Bespin Luke.
Oh, okay. Best. Okay.
So it had a
Yeah,
vision of
after
someone
Empire
catching
Strikes
this.
Back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
catching the Anakin saber.
Right.
So she sent him off on a quest to find a new saber, and this was the saber that he found eventually. So this is the saber that he wields between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi
So during
I'll be darned.
so during Shadows.
in the comic books.
So he's using a temple guard saber, a yellow blade.
A yellow-bladed Temple Guard lightsaber.
Got it.
Cool.
So
Oh,
when
that
we
explains that. I did see a picture of him with a.
when we get Shadows of the Empire
Yes.
adaptation, that's what he'll be.
That should, I mean, unless they really change it up, yeah.
Chris, where is Dash Rendar going to fit into all of this?
He needs to anywhere,
God.
literally.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Dime store Han Solo does not need to be anywhere.
No,
near my
they-
shot.
Look, we're gonna get Kyle Katarn anyway.
We've already had Dime Store in season 1.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah.
That kid.
Well, we see him again, and he says,
They
"No,
can-
no, no, no! I changed my name to Dash Rendar."
They,
No.
in, the,
Yeah.
in the Mandalorian, they could totally reinvent Dash Rendar and put him in the Mandalorian. Like,
I tell you what, if they did and they didn't just make him a carbon copy of Han Solo to fit the need of that character in a story,
right.
then I'm all for it. But Dash Rendar was literally created.
Absolutely
because
he
you
was.
couldn't do a Star Wars story without Han Solo
Right.
in it.
Right. That's exactly what exactly. 100%.
How about his black son and Caesar? That's all I need.
That well,
That's
Yeah.
all.
man,
Simple.
there's a short and a long
we
list of
haven't
everything.
even got a mention of these other syndicates.
No, none of the
Mm-mm.
crime syndicates
Not
at
in
all.
here.
Mm-mm.
Nothing
Right.
here.
No,
Wait, did they not mention Crimson Dawn?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
I don't remember hearing Crimson Dawn.
Not Crimson Dawn.
No. Okay, then nothing.
Not
The
yet.
Huts
Anyway.
would still be around, but the Huts are pretty decimated too.
Right.
I mean, we saw in the last, let me see, it was the third to last episode of the Clone Wars. With this latest season, we saw a Feline in there, and we also saw what's his ass from Crimson Dawn.
Well, yeah, they've all been around.
Yeah.
But it's like
not in the Mando.
But we don't know what's going on since the Empire
Right.
was crushed.
Right.
Did you see the whole? I know we should be wrapping up.
That's
here,
right.
But how Lucas's stories came out, like what he had planned on, like
I saw
Darth
that.
Maul for the sequels was going to run the crime syndicates.
Right. I saw
Like,
that.
that was his plan for the sequels, and in the end, it would have been Leia being the chosen one over the whole time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, interesting. I mean, it's not horrible, the Darth Maul bit, but I mean, Rebels kind of killed that.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
I don't know. Darth Maul would have been kind of old to me at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? He'd have been like 90, and I know species age different, but still.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
George Lucas, you had your shot. You cut him in half, okay?
Yeah. If you wanted to keep him around, you shouldn't have cut him in half.
Exactly.
First damn chance you had.
Exactly. All right.
That's all I had. I just want to talk to
Yeah, no problem. What's up, Scott?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just ready to wrap it up and get out of here and then do this again on Monday because we are going to be doing this on Monday, not Tuesday of next week. I promise you, Mando Monday Sarlacc style will be going on from now until the end of the year.
We've only got 4 more.
Yeah.
Can we screw up them all?
Yes. The answer
we
is
can.
yes.
We can screw up every one of them. Yes.
The answer is
Okay.
yes.
Just checking.
So
Well-oiled machine.
yeah, so every Monday we're gonna be dropping. We're gonna go live and do this until Mando is done, and then we will see you everybody on the next new year. So with that, let's get out of here, guys. Scott,
Yes, sir.
where can we find you?
You can find me right here. Nerds with Attitude are kind of on another hiatus because,
Because
2 episodes a year is about all we can handle.
oh boy,
So yeah, you can find me here on Sarlacc Digest. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, all that. Just look for The Art of Scott Solo.
awesome,
And yeah.
awesome. Chris, where can we find you?
Well, all of our socials, especially Twitter right now, guys. If you haven't followed us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. Share us, like us, help us out there as well, because we're not getting a lot of action on the Twitter page. So I'd appreciate your help in there. We're also IG, Facebook, and the Facebook group. Also at Hoth Topic Podcast. I'll be dropping episodes here and there in here.
I want to come back up.
I know, that was fun. And if you guys didn't see, we did do last week we had an episode with Scott and myself. And then this weekend I did put out the 3-minute theory we discovered right there about Yoda being Rey's granddad.
You did.
Other than that, no, that's it.
That's it. That's good.
That's it. That's me.
Awesome, Joey. Where can we find you?
You can find me here at the Sarlacc Digest, and you can find me on IG at bootlegjoe_760.
Awesome, Ernie the Fallen Fett. Busy man.
Here, very awesome, Mando Mondays. I like that we're going to get into that. Makes it a little bit quicker. And plus, it's, a lot of people are talking about how Disney releases their stuff on Monday, too.
Right.
So it's like it's a totally okay for us to.
Well, we give the weekend for spoilers to
Dive
people to
right
watch
in.
it. Yeah.
Right.
And then Monday
Right.
we're full blown talking about the episode before.
And hey, we're like at the end of the day, so we wrap up Mando Monday for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's awesome.
Good.
So be sure and check that out. And then with the Toy Migos on They're Not Dolls with our Quickie Minis, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then Thursday night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with our regular podcast show.
Awesome. Everybody, thank you very much in the chat for joining us. This was awesome. Again, join us every Monday until the Mandalorian Season 2 wraps up. And thank you guys, Sarlacc crew, for bearing with me as I recover from my illness. And I promise not to get COVID again for at least another 3 to 5 months of immunity. So no, if I get it again, you'll never hear from me again. So
This took a really dark turn.
I know.
Right, yeah.
It's-
Wow.
It wasn't.
Is there a way to edit the ending? Because you really killed the outro. The whole vibe of the show just went to shit.
Marco really needs to go to bed. And
Yeah,
end it.
it's
He's
late.
Like, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, I really want to wrap this show up.
Yeah, I'm going to sit here in the office. I tried to stop you guys 30 minutes ago.
Yeah,
That's
no.
fine. Hey, real quick, Marco, before
Yeah.
we do end,
Yeah.
much love to everybody who was in the chat with us today. We had Jake Peterson, Santo 1414, Douglas Tupper. We also had Mando Mike show up. Rich was here. That was awesome.
Yes.
Bounty Hunter BNB, long time listener.
Awesome.
And
Drunk 3PO.
Yeah, that's who it was. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Is Gordon not on there?
I didn't see him on there tonight. No. I love our chat. I wish that it would grow and grow and grow, and everybody else who is or listening to this or watching this on YouTube and or our SoundCloud, hit the likes, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good news. Spread the word. Hit that bell notification.
And we do still have big stuff coming up. Right?
Yeah, we do.
Have, Kevin Scott is going to come on here again. Kevin Scott, an author and part of, he's done Star Wars comics. He did the Dooku audio play. He's part of the Jedi Temple Challenge. He's huge in the High Republic, one of the architects there.
Yep.
We've got huge things coming and want to share with everybody. So make sure to let everybody know where to find us.
That's the most important thing, is to share.
Yes.
Take a screenshot. I put like 4 different ones live. All you got to do is take a screenshot of it and share it on your page. We would greatly appreciate that.
And I just started speaking with a person based out of France who does a lot of 3D printing. His name's Julian. And if you check out 3D & Co., 3D &CO on Facebook, you can find all of his stuff there. Might be cooking a little something up for next week to talk about some of those amazing 3D printed holocrons and switch plates and just all sorts of stuff that look like you're in the Star Wars universe.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We got to live it. Live it more. Live it proud.
Right. I want that cantina sign he made over Chris's bar.
Yes.
I want to get that for Chris and put that over his bar. So next time we do a cantina night.
Yeah. Speaking of cantina nights, they are returning. I had a little bit of a hiatus of editing the last 3 episodes of the cantina night, so those are coming.
Why? It's not like
he was
horrible.
For that.
I was
a slacker.
Also, I got a 3D printing video coming out. Also, speaking of too, but I just have to finalize that too. There's been a lot in the works, but life happens sometimes, and that doesn't always get done. So anyway, with that, let's get out of here. Scott.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.